Hi, this afternoon Scott and I have been doing a walkabout on the south side with Living Streets with Morag and David here, thinking about how we can improve the pavements and walkways for pedestrians, because in the end of the day everyone at some point in their use of our streets is a pedestrian, so that is really important. So Morag, kind of what were your thoughts when we were walking around the south side here about things that we could improve?
Well, certainly it's very useful to have you as our elected politicians just coming round and having a look at how we can improve our walking for people in the area. Certainly street clutter, dropped curbs, and certainly timing of crossings is something that perhaps we could be thinking of, among other things which I know David will expand on.
So, sorry, I think we were really agreeing about the number of extraneous poles in the pavement.
Absolutely, yes, extraneous poles indeed, and boxes, metal boxes as well.
David, what are some of your thoughts about what we've seen this afternoon walking around Causeway Side?
Sure. Well, I think as Morag says, pedestrian crossings and traffic lights just behind us, we've sort of had to wait maybe a minute or a minute and a half to cross the road, while probably there were maybe a dozen or 24 pedestrians. Probably more cars, more pedestrians than cars, yet we had to wait. So a really quick win would just be to change traffic signals so that pedestrians can cross the road quicker. Pavements, they're often just not wide enough, and that's a problem when you've got clutter on them. It makes it even worse. So more space and more time for pedestrians.
Great, thanks David. Scott, as the person who's the convener for these matters in the council, what are your kind of thoughts reflecting on what we've looked at this afternoon?
It's been really interesting, Daniel, because I think being out walking with David and Morag, they've pointed out a lot of things I guess we all take for granted because we see it so much: the state of our footpaths, the clutter, pavement parking, and you can really see even in this small area there's real challenges. But it's just about finding, I guess, the time and the money to improve things, and to a certain extent also give the council the powers to act as well.
Well, certainly I found it a really useful afternoon, so thank you very much, both to you, David and Morag. And I think some thoughts for me going forward, I think just some ways just getting the absolute basics right. We've talked a lot about drop curbs and how important they are if you're a wheelchair user or you've got restricted mobility, and just sort of thinking about those sorts of things first and then layering up and making sure that people can use the walkways and pavements so that kind of neighbourhoods work when you're on foot. I think it's probably my kind of key reflection. So anyway, really interesting conversation, and look forward to having more of them in the future. So thanks very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Brilliant.